New WWE superstar Jeff Cobb undergoes a name change on SmackDown to JC Mateo, defeating LA Knight in his debut match. SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis announces he has signed Guilia to the SmackDown roster. R-Truth vs. John Cena is confirmed for Saturday night's main event, as is Damian Priest vs. Drew McIntyre inside of a steel cage. Tiffany Stratton defeats Nia Jax to retain the Women's Championship. Solo Sikoa and Alexa Bliss qualify for the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. Several Money in the Bank qualifiers are set for next week's SmackDown. The WWE Tag Team titles are also on the line next week on the blue brand. TNA announces a special Canada vs. USA Border Brawl event. A stretch match is possibly set to take place at Double or Nothing, and the reaction to Liv Morgan's film debut has been confirmed. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Before we begin, you can see right there we're currently at 21,701 subscribers. Less than 300 to go to 22,000 and getting ever closer to the goal for this year, which is 25k. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestling News universe. In addition to that, you can become a member of the WN365 roster. Links in the video description below. You can also click the join button or scan the QR code to get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. Whilst you can scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar, you can also see the upcoming live watch-alongs and post-shows we've got for the month of May. That includes AEW Double or Nothing next weekend. Now, let's begin with the newest WWE superstar on the main roster, that being Jeff Cobb, undergoing a name change. Jeff Cobb will now be going by the name JC Mateo. Now, Cobb made his debut with commentary using his former name during last weekend's Backlash Premium Live event, aligning with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline to help Jacob Fatu retain the United States Championship. WWE filed to trademark the name JC Mateo as part of a number of new filings in recent weeks, with it yet to be confirmed how the name was going to be used. However, during SmackDown, Sikoa notably referred to Cobb as JC to suggest that it would be his new ring name per WWE's long-standing practice. The name change has since been formalized by WWE, with him being referred to by JC Mateo on commentary. Now, Cobb was blindsided by LA Knight during the segment, with the former United States champion out for revenge after being cost his match against Fatu at Backlash. Prior to Knight's intervention, things were getting tense between Sikoa and Fatu over the involvement in his US title defense, with the Samoan werewolf notably confused by the arrival of a new member in their faction. Later in the show, all three of them were shown to be searching for Knight, although Fatu followed far behind in the pair of Mateo and Sikoa. It led to a debut match for JC Mateo later on in the evening. If you thought you'd have to wait and see the newly christened JC Mateo, formerly known as Jeff Cobb, compete in a WWE ring, think again. After pure bedlam following the triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match between Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Rey Fenix, SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis ordered a match between Mateo and Knight after the two had been at each other's throats all evening. Mateo, clad in black pants and a black t-shirt, competed in his very first match on SmackDown against LA Knight and proved that he's exactly where he belongs. The match itself was a back-and-forth contest, with both men gaining the advantage, but Solo Sikoa once again made his presence felt, which gained the upper hand for Mateo. After a commercial break, Mateo continued his domination, but LA Knight refused to give up. Mateo tried several pinfall attempts, but Knight continued to kick out. Knight eventually gained the advantage after an ill-timed splash to the outside turnbuckle from Mateo, and he attempted his own pinfall, but Mateo kicked out. Knight tried a BFT, but Mateo reversed it into a spinning side suplex, followed by a standing moonsault. He only got a 2 count. After Solo attempted to get involved again, Knight dove from the ring onto him and Jacob Fatu, but as he got back into the ring, he was the victim of Mateo's Tour of the Island scoop power slam, which gave Mateo the victory. JC Mateo officially won his WWE debut match. What are your thoughts on the name change? Do you like it? Will it take a while to get used to? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Now, more big news coming out of SmackDown last night. The latest addition to the women's division on SmackDown was revealed. The Beautiful Madness, Guilia, is officially the newest member of the SmackDown roster, according to general manager Nick Aldis during the show on Friday. Guilia was seen walking out of Aldis' office in a backstage segment involving Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. The former NXT Women's Champion stared the woman down as she walked away, and Aldis made the announcement to Bliss, Flair, and the audience. WWE had not revealed Guilia had been officially called up to the main roster, but she had been competing alongside fellow former Women's Champion Roxanne Perez on Monday Night Raw. She and Perez were defeated by the Women's World Champion Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in tag team action on Monday on Netflix. Guilia was already no stranger to the main roster and had appeared in the Women's Royal Rumble earlier this year. Guilia's final match on WWE NXT was a loss to the juggernaut Jordynne Grace in a number one contenders bout to challenge champion Stephanie Vaquer at Battleground. She held the NXT Women's Championship for 63 days after toppling Perez at New Year's Eve to kick off 2025. She was defeated by real-life friend Vaquer at Roadblock and was presumed to be injured but returned to NXT action a short time after. Now, it has been confirmed for the upcoming Saturday night's main event special that John Cena will be competing against a childhood hero, that being R-Truth. R-Truth's childhood hero, John Cena, will be facing off against him at Saturday night's main event on NBC and Peacock. They say don't ever meet your heroes. Reverence is temporary until the truth comes out. At WWE Saturday night's main event, John Cena will take on a man who idolized him since childhood, R-Truth. Cena gave Truth an attitude adjustment through a table at the WWE Backlash post-show press conference. As such, Truth revealed during a conversation with Wade Barrett on the May 16th episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown that he talked to Nick Aldis and got a match made between him and Cena at Saturday night's main event on May 24th in Tampa. Truth even helped Cena retain the undisputed WWE Championship at Backlash. Now he says he will take everything John Cena taught him about never giving up and applying it to beat Cena so he can save Cena from himself on his retirement tour. This match was not announced as an undisputed WWE Championship match. Now, speaking of Saturday night's main event, another match was confirmed for the upcoming special on NBC and Peacock, and it will be inside of a steel cage. Damian Priest is looking to settle things with Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event. On the May 16th episode of SmackDown, Damian Priest challenged Drew McIntyre to meet him inside of a steel cage at WWE Saturday night's main event on May 24th. Priest said he wanted to beat him where he wouldn't be recognizable. McIntyre defeated Priest in a street fight at WrestleMania 41. Priest got a measure of revenge at WWE Backlash, delivering a South of Heaven through a series of tables in the production area during their four-way bout. Later in the show, McIntyre accepted the challenge. That match is now confirmed. Tiffany Stratton, she's still the women's champion. The title remains in her possession. Closing out last night's episode of SmackDown was a WWE Women's Championship match between Nia Jax and the champion Tiffany Stratton. The closing sequences of the match saw Naomi storm to the ring with a chair, but as she was about to enter the ring, Jade Cargill ran down to offset her. Cargill sent Naomi over the barricade and fought with her to the backstage area. There are several near falls in Stratton and Jax's match, but while the referee was returning the title belt to the timekeeper, Stratton kicked a chair into Jax's face. This was followed up by Stratton's prettiest moonsault ever and a 3 count to retain her title. It also caused Nia Jax to bleed profusely. The match was Stratton's 4th title defense since cashing in Money in the Bank on Jax in January to become the WWE Women's Champion. Now, Solo Sikoa, he has qualified for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. After defeating Rey Fenix and Jimmy Uso, Sikoa is the first man to qualify for the 2025 WWE Money in the Bank ladder match. With Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo in his corner, Sikoa got the victory by hitting the Samoan Spike on Rey Fenix and pinning him, capitalizing on a distraction caused by Mateo and Jacob Fatu at ringside. Sikoa now hopes to win the briefcase on June 7th and use it to cash in and bring the undisputed WWE Championship back to the bloodline. Sikoa had a handful of opportunities at the WWE Championship in 2024 and came up short every time. Now he looks to rebuild with new muscle by his side. Now, speaking of the Money in the Bank ladder matches, Alexa Bliss is also going to be competing in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. No stranger to Money in the Bank success, the winner of the 2018 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Alexa Bliss is the first woman to qualify for the 2025 edition of the match. She earned that right by defeating both Chelsea Green and Michin on the May 16th episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. She got the victory by pinning Chelsea Green after hitting a Sister Abigail DDT. Alexa Bliss recently returned to action on the May 9th episode, teaming with Zelina Vega to defeat the team of Green and Piper Niven. Niven was not allowed at ringside for this match as all seconds were banned. When Alexa Bliss won Money in the Bank in 2018, she would cash in on the very same night to win the WWE Raw Women's Championship, now known as the WWE Women's Championship. Now, speaking of Money in the Bank, there are going to be more qualifying matches taking place next week on SmackDown. June 7th is the date of the WWE Money in the Bank Premium Live event, and slots in the respective men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches are beginning to be filled. Scheduled for the May 23rd Friday Night SmackDown is a triple threat match between Charlotte Flair, Women United States Champion Zelina Vega, and the newest member of the SmackDown roster, Guilia. The winner will join Alexa Bliss in the Women's Money in the Bank field. Bliss earned her spot by winning a triple threat match featuring Chelsea Green and Mitchum. On the men's front, Aleister Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura are scheduled to compete in a qualifying match. The match was made official after a video message from Nakamura aired, and he called out Black and Knight. Solo Sikoa qualified for the ladder match after he won a triple threat match last night on SmackDown involving Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. Those matches will also be added to a card that includes a WWE Tag Team Championship match. Fraxium are getting their shot at the WWE Tag Team Championships. On the May 16th edition of SmackDown, it featured a tag team match between Fraxium and DIY. Emerging victorious from the bout were Fraxium, and afterwards the winners were attacked by Gargano and Ciampa, making the save with the Motor City machine guns. As Fraxium were walking backstage, they were approached by the Street Profits. The reigning WWE Tag Team Champions informed Fraxium they'll be getting their shot at the WWE Tag Team titles on the May 23rd edition of SmackDown. It'll be their fourth defense of the titles since winning them back in March. Now let's go over to TNA Wrestling, and a very unique show has been announced by Total Nonstop Action. The lineup is set for Border Brawl. Now TNA Wrestling and Zonify announced the lineup for USA vs Canada Border Brawl, which takes place on May 25th. The event will air on Zonify, which is available on Roku, Fire TV, and more. This is a statement from TNA Wrestling saying, quote, Zonify and TNA Wrestling announced lineup for the Border Brawl. Mega event will take place May 25 in Niagara Falls and streaming exclusively on Zonify in the US and Canada. Tickets are on sale now through tickets.com and zone.tv. Niagara Falls, Canada, May 16, 2025. Let the battle begin. Zonify and TNA Wrestling today announced the lineup for the highly anticipated The Border Brawl, being held May 25 at the Niagara Convention Center. America and Canada will settle their differences the old-fashioned way with steel chairs, smack talk, and suplexes. Forget diplomacy. This one's going to be settled with pile drivers, fisticuffs, and a whole lot of trash talk. The live and streamed event starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, followed by a fan meet and greet. The entire show will stream exclusively and for free on Zonify, available on Roku, Fire TV, Google Android TV, Comcast Xfinity TV, Cox Contour TV, Rogers Xfinity TV, Videotron Helix TV, Buckeye and Max South TV, smart TVs, mobile devices, and the web. Tickets are on sale now through tickets.com and zone.tv. The star-studded lineup for the Border Brawl includes a flag match of Nick Nemeth representing the USA versus Santino Marella representing Canada, Matt Hardy representing the US versus Eric Young representing Canada, Tessa Blanchard representing the US versus Jody Threat representing Canada, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards representing the USA versus Judas Icarus and Travis Williams representing Canada, a hardcore match where representing the USA will be Tommy Dreamer versus Champagne Singh representing Canada. Victoria Crawford, representing the USA, will face Courtney Rush, representing Canada. Moose and JDC, representing the USA, will face Channing Decker and Jesse Bieber from Canada. Frankie Kazarian will be representing the USA against Cody Deaner of Canada. Sami Callihan of the USA will face William Trudeau, with the personal concierge representing Canada. The Border Brawl features noteworthy coaches for both countries. The USA will have Rampage Jackson, along with a USA assistant coach of Kelly Kelly. Canada will have Jacques Rougeau as the Team Canada coach. His assistant will be Ali. It says, quote, in the spirit of unity and impact beyond the ring, a portion of the proceeds from all ticket sales will benefit non-profit organizations that support injured veterans and service members in their journey of healing and recovery. By attending the Border Brawl, fans will not only witness an unforgettable night of body slams and border pride, they'll also be supporting real-life warriors who fought and served. Now let's go over to AEW, as a match for Double or Nothing has been teased. AEW Double or Nothing takes place on May 25th, and a challenge has been issued for the upcoming show with an interesting stipulation. This week's AEW Dynamite Beach Break saw Mark Briscoe come to the aid of Zach Gowen after his match against Ricochet. Briscoe has now made it clear he wants a piece of Ricochet, setting them on a violent collision course for AEW Double or Nothing. In a recent AEW exclusive posted to social media, Mark Briscoe laid out the challenge to Ricochet, saying, quote, "So for the better part of the past 2 months, there's been one thing that's been constant. Every time I look across the ring, in the other corner, in the other team, is that shiny-headed scallywag Ricochet. Ricochet, you have been the perpetual thorn in my side, the proverbial chap in my ass for the better part of 2 months. So it's about time we ended this. I'm tired of looking at you, you bald-headed bully. You tried to bully my man, Zach Gowen. You're lucky he didn't stick that foot so far up your ass you could taste his tennis shoe, that his Timberland was tickling your tonsils. But coming up, pay-per-view, hey, what better to do it? Double or Nothing, let's have some fun, let's get creative. What you say, Ricochet, me versus you, stretcher match." Mark Briscoe would then lay out what he means by laying out the stipulation for the match, stating, quote, that he says that you've got to put someone on the stretcher and wheel them, of course, over the line. Now, this hasn't been made yet official, but of course, if we get any more details, we'll let you know in a future video. And finally, more reaction to Liv Morgan in her big upcoming Hollywood movie. Liv Morgan has reportedly finished filming her scenes in Takashi Miike's Bad Lieutenant Tokyo in Japan, and production sources gave the former WWE Women's Champion a glowing review. According to PW Insider, those sources said Morgan crushed her first dramatic role where she played a character other than her wrestling persona. Sources told PW Insider that Morgan was a natural on set and easily transitioned from the professional wrestling scene to filming. The outlet was also told that Morgan blew everyone away with her work, including those well experienced in the industry. Morgan has previous Hollywood experience and has been featured on the Chucky TV series as well as other movie roles such as The Kill Room. In Bad Lieutenant Tokyo, Morgan plays a kidnapped politician's daughter who the main characters in the film are searching for. Morgan is expected back on Raw soon, though PW Insider didn't report a specific date. According to a previous Fightful Select report, Morgan is expected to be back stateside on Saturday. She missed this Monday's episode of the show, as her Judgment Day stablemates had to jokingly explain to Dominic Mysterio how time zones worked. In the storyline, she asked Raw General Manager Adam Pearce for some time off to film the movie, leaving Raquel Rodriguez behind with their Women's Tag Team Championships they regained from Lara Valkyria and Becky Lynch on the Raw after WrestleMania. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. A reminder, be sure to subscribe. We're currently at 21,701 subscribers on that road to 22k, on the long road to 25k. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. You can scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar. Links in the video description. Or you can click the join button to become a member of the WN365 roster. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. Whilst checking out the sidebar, you can see all upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows we've got here live on the channel, including for AEW Double or Nothing at the end of the month. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.